Hello, good afternoon. This is Usha speaking. Hi. Today I'd like to talk about my out of body experience. And this happened in India when I was around 22 years old. My father's Indian, my mother is Dutch. And I was traveling in India and I was sleeping in a hotel room. And all of a sudden I heard a beep in my ears and I opened my eyes, kind of thing, but I saw a blue light all around me, but apparently it wasn't my physical eyes that had opened, because the next moment I knew it, I was floating in the room, and I was sort of half asleep, and I was thinking maybe I should go to the bathroom. And then I thought, oh, okay, everything's normal, I guess. I am in the bathroom. But then I realized I was floating on the ceiling still in the bathroom. So I realized that I was out of my body, and this experience, this has greatly impacted my life. And I'd like to talk about it with you because I learned a lot of things ever since. And yeah, so when I fully realized I was out of my body, I saw myself lying on the bed, and after a while I got into my body, and I was not the same afterwards. So a lot of things changed. I became hypersensitive, I became psychic. I think you could look at it, what I sort of had analyzed was that it felt like I had a super consciousness, daily consciousness, and a subconsciousness. And if you look at these levels of consciousness as, sort of, yeah, maybe like levels, it was as if they were open. There were these doors and they had opened up. So they were, my consciousness was floating from one state to the next while I was awake. So this was very interesting, to say the least. It was a very trying time. It was very hard for me. I felt very lonely. I felt I couldn't share it with anyone because I was traveling in India, and then after that, I went back to Amsterdam to resume my studies at the University of Amsterdam. And so I felt very lost. I was suffering from sleep paralysis. And at the time, I did not know it was sleep paralysis. So, yes, a lot of things I had to find out in time. And so, but because every night I had the feeling I was being pulled out of my body. And to cope with the shifting consciousness and with the sleep paralysis, I figured that, I was out there in a non-physical reality, but I didn't have a navigation tool. I didn't have the map. And so I went searching for that, and I was having highly symbolic dreams. I was having lucid dreams. All sorts of things happened to me. And I had visits from spirits. And all the while I was just being a student. And when it happened in India during that time, I was also modeling for a brief time. So, I mean, there was great discrepancy between my outer and inner world. I mean, I was searching for meaning, searching for life, or meaning of life, explanations, all the big life questions. And all the while I was, I don't know, doing this modeling thing and like dealing with the physical and fashion and things that I was not really interested in. Anyway, but so when I came back, I was like, hey, I don't have a map, don't have navigation tools. I started studying the tarot cards, because they're very symbolic. And I felt the need, I felt, I needed to know more about symbols because my dreams were so symbolic. So I did that for a while, and then I met a lady and she said, I'm doing a course, a training on psychic reading. I'm going to become a psychic reader. And I was like, okay, it's interesting. Maybe I should do that too. And so this was a course for people from 28 years and older. I was only 22, but my teacher, she let me, join the course. I stayed with her for 7 years. She became my friend, my teacher, my mentor. I learned a lot. So I did 3 years of studying the chakras and the aura and the layers of the aura, and then I did 2 years of masterclass, and then I assisted her for a couple of years. So I had very thorough training, and I sort of tried to establish myself as a psychic reader, but I felt that I was insecure because living in a nihilist, materialistic society, I tried to fit in. I was afraid people would think I was weird or thought I was some new age fool, or that wasn't true what I was saying or seeing. It was not the right environment for me. I felt spiritual from the inside, but it wasn't reflected in my environment. So it's only now actually that I'm starting to speak out. Yay! I'm just telling you how it is. I've tried to fit the mold and I just can't anymore. And I feel that it's really important. We're all different, and yeah, so this is what I have got to offer. And because I think it may not be wise to try and have an out-of-body experience. I don't think that's this, I mean, for example, in hindsight, I think my out-of-body experience was induced by trauma. I don't recommend that, but I do embrace, of course, the spiritual. Oh, wait a minute. And so I would like, to expand your consciousness is a very positive thing. And so I think I can teach you about this, and I can talk about this to you. And if you have questions, I can answer them, because I'd like to share what happened to me, because we're all on a search, right? We're all on a journey, and it's very important to be critical. It's very important to question your sources. You can also question me. That's very good. Don't believe, just believe. That's not what this is about. And it's about discovering your own spirituality, discovering your own tools, your own abilities, your own wisdom. So because I believe we are spiritual in nature, and this is our foundation. And I think a lot of us want to reconnect with this, that it has been disconnected in a way at some level or the other. So so I will make some more videos about my out-of-body experience, because I want to tell you what happened to me after the out-of-body experience. Because a lot of things happened to me, and also how this ties in with trauma, and also how you can expand your consciousness, go back to your source, because it's a natural longing, to want to come back to yourself, to your source, to everything that is, to your higher consciousness, to be in touch with that. So there are many ways you can accomplish this in a safe way. So I will start talking about these things in next videos. And but the whole, the impact it had on me, just to sort of make the conclusion of my out-of-body experience, is that at that point I knew there was no death. There is no death. So that when you're out of your body, you live, you feel, you think, you have consciousness. And this is huge if you think about that. And it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever felt in my life. And so this has changed me, I have a whole other perspective, and I don't want to die. But in the end, I'm not really afraid of death. I'm afraid of suffering, and I don't want to leave my kids and, my loved ones. I love life, but death in itself, no. I'm just going back to my source, I'm gonna... So this is, we do not need to be afraid. And it's very important that we lead our lives, we live our lives, whilst we are here. So, engaging in the spiritual and thinking about death, it really makes us live life to the fullest. And it's all about purpose. Why are we here? And I think we can really use our potential so much more if we get more in touch with our spirituality. So this is my mission. All right, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.